So what's in here, huh?
Lots of mushrooms. Mycelium.
Lots of dodgy stuff is what I say.
So there's oyster mushrooms and shiitake mushrooms. There's even one here, a sample. And also lots of molds everywhere.
So we picked this up where?
So there's this nice company called Num, started by a Belgian guy some time ago, and they grow your own mushrooms at home, but also do tours inside the place to explain how you can grow mushrooms indoors. But after speaking to him about the land that we have and wanting to have the mycelium grow in our forest as well and potentially have mushrooms in the future, then he suggested, well, I can get 50 bags of this mix, which he makes a mix of mushrooms and coffee grounds reused from a Portuguese coffee company. So it's a waste product that is reused for growing mushrooms and growing food.
Yeah. So what we think happens is that they fill these bags with coffee grounds and then sort of put the mycelium in there, and then the mycelium grows, which is like the root system of a mushroom.
Which is a layer of the food forest.
Yeah. And then they cut open the bags because they're all like cut open and stuff. And then the mushrooms grow out of these holes, basically. Then they harvest the mushrooms, and then the mycelium, once it's eaten all of the food in there, which is essentially the coffee grounds, then they're done with these bags, I think. Because we're still trying to figure out why they sell them or why they're a kind of byproduct. So we'll be interested to find out more about that. But basically then, speaking to the guy, he said it's a great source of... It's a great
still very nutritious.
It's very nutritious. It's a great fertilizer,
yes,
right? Compost, and you can throw it in your forest, and if there's enough of it, it'll form this kind of mycelium ecosystem, and grow mushrooms potentially in the future.
Yes, and it will make the soil much richer. It will make it more water retaining, more resilient to pests, and overall it will just improve the quality of our land, basically. So
that's the plan.
Yeah.
So we're going to experiment in a couple of ways with it. We only bought 10 bags of oyster mushrooms and 2 crates of shiitake. We just got 2 hay bales. So we're going to put the hay bales in the forest and somehow insert the mycelium into the hay bales, and then we're going to see if maybe we can grow mushrooms out of the hay bales.
Yes.
Similar to how they're using coffee grounds here, but the hay bales then become the food source, essentially. Potentially. Talking very speculatively here.
I wouldn't give too much detail about that. I don't think.
No, but that's what
I think it's just a medium. It's just a place for it to stay where it's wet and it's protected.
Okay.
And it's just an easy way for us to know that we planted those mushrooms and that what's coming out is what we planted. Whereas we also want to plant it in our forest and introduce it, but because we are not mushroom experts in any way, we just want to
see what happens.
And we don't know if we'll eat the mushrooms right away from our forest that grows in the forest floor. So we'll
so it's an experiment. It's an experiment.
First.
So we'll see how it goes.
Wow, it's beautiful here with this light.
Oish.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, mushroom experiment. Number 1. Hay bales.
Yes.
So we have shiitake and oyster.
Did you get mine?
Yes. So what are you thinking? In the top and in the sides?
Yeah, exactly. So we can just like make several holes like this, and then try to put it inside. We spread it like.
Break this up.
Yeah, we break it into bits. Ooh, wow.
Get closer to this.
Yeah, look, it's like seeds. It's like literally seeds. Look at that.
Nice. So we're breaking it up into bits and shoving it into the hay bale.
Yeah. No, but
Take them bit by bit and kind of.
yeah, but
you want to
does
go
like
deeper.
yeah. Yeah.
So let's just start this side and just like
Yeah, work our way.
absolutely ram it. The mushroom lady.
I feel like someone feeding birds in Lisbon.
So we're going to turn this into a bit of like our just general mushroom experimentation zone. We've got the bales, which we're impregnating, and then we're just going to spread the mycelium sort of over the ground here as well, and then we'll just see what happens, basically. Whether mushrooms grow on here, mushrooms grow on there, mushrooms grow anywhere. They might not grow anywhere at all, in which case we're just feeding the forest, because this mycelium is like it's a really good source of nutrients. But now we're giving it a good soak, because mushrooms like water and shade, so that's why we've got them here in the woods, so that they hopefully don't get too much sun exposure. Also, it's a good time of year to do this because it's colder, it's more damp. We're in a kind of slightly more humid area of Portugal, but we're still kind of in the center of Portugal, close to Lisbon, so up north we'll get a lot more cold and damp than down here. So we'll see if this is even a good sort of climate for mushrooms. But yeah, as we say, it's an experiment. it's not working for you.
It was too slow.
Too slow?
It just needs to be completely wet, so.
We can get some more. Go on.
And not all the holes are working.
Yeah, we did find this. What's this thing called again? Colander? No.
Watering can.
Watering can. Yeah, we did find this watering can in the shed, so it's been here for a generation, let's say. Cool, shiitake is done. On to oyster mushrooms, which is decidedly more nasty looking.
Yeah. This is more mixed with like.
It's just more moist, I guess.
But it's more like hay.
Yeah, true.
Interesting.
They grow it on straw as well.
Okay, let's start with that bit.
Look at this. Mushrooms trying to get out. They're great.